Let me get comfy. Alright guys, this is gonna be like a little FaceTime for us. Hi guys, welcome to my fireside chat. See what I did there? Have you wondered how Janet can skirt the ARDC time and time and time again, allegedly? I think Janet's been, is my camera not centered? So let's get into today's video, which is my ARDC complaint against Janet and the result of it, and why I think Janet has been getting away with all of us complaining to the ARDC about her. So just to start this off, backstory, quick little backstory. Janet is a fictional lawyer who defrauded my small business, and I have a 3-hour video on my ShmooTube. You can go ahead and take a look at that real quick. I'm posting this on the Tiki as well, so that's why I'm careful with my words so I don't get suppressed in any way, shape, or form. All right, so I hired this lawyer on contingency. She turns around, withdraws because I won't sign a new contract after working for me for like several months, and this new contract allows her to like fine me and stuff like that. So legal abuse, hashtag legal abuse, like what the and then she withdraws, and then she keeps sending me invoices over and over again, and I'm like, lady, do you know the definition of contingency? Like, are you literally insane? How did you get to law school? And then she ends up taking me to court. She finds a sleazy lawyer, in my opinion, who took the case on. His name is Goldberg, and they ended up taking me to court and suing me. And this was at a time where I had nothing to my name, and it was a terrible time. Contemplated doing really serious actions that would no longer keep me here. And I eventually, I think God intervened, honestly. I think God intervened, and I ended up getting a job, and I was able to afford it. I had to move out to California, so now I'm here. What's up, Orange County? Love this area. That is very cool that I got to move out here. Then I was laid off from my job, and now I'm going back to doing my company full-time. But nonetheless, here we are. So because Janet kept sending me invoices over and over again, and it was very clear that she thought that I owed her money, I ended up reporting her to the Illinois ARDC. ARDC stands for Attorney Registration and Disciplinary Commission. So I'm thinking, hey, listen, I'll show them like literally that we had this contingency fee agreement, and she withdrew, and she's invoicing me these bullshit invoices at like this hourly rate that she thinks is okay, but I never agreed to any of this. And I put together a document that was 100 pages, over 100 pages long. I would show you guys this document, but it has a lot of like emails and stuff like that. But basically it has like the LOE agreement that I showed you guys previously, where it says like the LOE does not place an obligation on you to use me for any legal service, blah, 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 blah. As we talked about, she's going to do this on contingency, 35%, all of that good stuff. I'm showing all of the emails, right? And then I'm telling her, you know, at the point of withdrawal, I'm like, listen, your LOE Section 8 does not give you the right to withdraw and then back bill me. That's only if I fire you, and that's okay. Like, you should have quantum error in place. Like, when a lawyer works really hard to win a case for a client, and then that client backs out last second with that lawyer, and then just kind of sidesteps and then goes and tries to get like the settlement without that lawyer getting paid, that's shady. These things, you need to protect lawyers. So I totally understand the whole concept of quantum error. But in this case, she didn't even do the work for the cases, right? Like, I didn't get anything. So, and also she withdrew. I didn't even fire her. So that was on her to withdraw based off of me not even doing anything wrong. And just because I wouldn't sign this document that allowed her to arbitrarily fine me whatever amount that she wanted, whenever she wanted. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm not signing this document. This is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, this is 101 pages, and I put in every single email in my ARDC complaint. Now, on October 25th of 2021, I get a response from the ARDC, and it's a PDF file, and I open that up and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So basically they say, Dear Ms. Sahi, we received your July 29, 2021 request for an investigation regarding your claims about the alleged conduct of Jeanette Braun, your former attorney. And basically they came to say, we have decided to close this investigation without seeking formal discipline based on your allegations against Ms. Braun. My heart sank. I'm like, how in the hell can this even happen? I provided you guys 100 pages of evidence. What did she provide on your side? So then they're like, so that there's no misunderstanding, please be advised that the duties of this commission relate primarily to investigating and prosecuting allegations of professional misconduct against attorneys, typically in relation to the representation of their clients. When we have sufficient evidence of serious misconduct by an attorney, we may initiate proceedings seeking disciplinary sanctions against the lawyer, such as suspension, disbarment from the practice of law. Please note that the ARDC does not intervene in or decide disputes over attorneys' fees, and we cannot direct lawyers to reduce or waive fee charges or provide fee refunds at this investigative level. So basically they're saying we can't do anything right now. Like legally, they're not allowed to do anything and I talked to them on the phone afterwards. So it's basically like, I gotta take her to court and sue her. And then I can take like a judge order back to the ARDC. And then she could get her license revoked. She could suffer other consequences, whatever the judge or jury decides, right? So that's where it's kind of like a fallacy. You think that you could go to this commission and talk to them and get them to actually take action against the lawyer, but in reality, their hands are tied a little bit. They're not allowed to do everything like and at this investigative level where I provide them all the evidence. They can't just like take the evidence and be like, oh shit, yeah, Janet's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would expect them to be able to do that, but they're not allowed to. So that's very disheartening to learn that you have to go through this legal process of what I've been going through for the past 2.5 years. So almost in a way, like, thank you, Janet, for forcing my hand and making me have to go through this, because she, you know, now we have 2 counts of fraud against her for good reason too. She literally ruined my cases for me. And I had good cases where I could have probably gotten a lot of damages. Even if we settled that case, I would have gotten a lot of damages. But yeah, so she should have just seen the case all the way through, but clearly she didn't want to. She up and left. It also says here, it's also imperative that we point out that we cannot review or decide matters that were or are at issue in court proceedings referenced in your communication, and that we cannot intervene in your legal matters in any way. So I don't know why they said that, because I didn't say anything about like my cases. That to me, like now reading this, it's almost like, did Janet tell them that she's gonna sue me? Like, I don't know. But that sounds interesting that they brought that up, that we cannot review or decide matters that were at issue in court proceedings referenced in your communication, that we cannot intervene in your legal matters in any way. Okay, anyways, from the information you provided, there is not a sufficient basis for this agency to investigate or pursue charges of professional misconduct against this attorney. Your allegations generally relate to the attorney's effectiveness as your counsel. So this is where I was like, did they not read what I said? I'm like, no, she's frauding me. What are you guys talking about? These allegations of ineffective assistance of counsel are appropriately addressed and resolved in the courts through motions, appeals, petitions, and other legal actions such as malpractice claims. So basically saying like, put a malpractice claim against this B. Like, what are you doing? And to me that, I'm like, come on, we're small businesses. Why do I have to do a malpractice claim against her? Therefore, a general policy, this commission will not act on such allegations unless there has been a court finding first that the lawyer was ineffective, at which time you may send us a copy of the court order for further evaluation. Despite our policy, we read yours and the attorney's correspondence as well as the attached exhibits. In her response, the attorney denied your allegations. She noted that you had agreed to use the Illinois court system to settle a fee/payment dispute if we could not settle any matter amicably. She referenced paragraph 6 on the BEB 22. I think that's probably her LOE. She also showed us the invoices, which for what it's worth calls to various blah, 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 did not strike us as unusual for other Chicagoland attorneys. So that's so effed up. Like, they didn't know that she had just submitted one thing in court. Only one motion in court. Like, the initial complaint. That's it. So for them to say this is laughable. I want to know what she submitted to them, because this doesn't make any sense. So the fact, okay, number one, she denied my allegations. So the only thing that I'm alleging is that she took my case on a contingency and then she withdrew. So if she's denying my allegations, this sounds like she told the ARDC that we didn't have a contingency fee agreement in place. And if that is the case, this is gonna show that she's committing fraud from the get-go, which is my opinion. I think that third kind of fraud that we were trying to get into court should be admitted. I mean, yeah, of course, breach of contract for sure. We already got that. Breach of fiduciary duty, we already got that. That's admitted by the judge. So we're going forward with those two. But I think this is like basically fraud from the get-go if she literally lied to the ARDC as well. So not only did her initial complaint pretend like we didn't have a contingency fee agreement in place, she had to amend that later. And she's like, of course we had a contingency fee agreement in place. Well, if she lied to the ARDC as well, I think she should suffer some consequences for that. I'll go ahead and just show you the rest of the doc. You can go ahead and read it. These are the 2 pages that the ARDC communicated to me about. Here is the thing. We're not going into discovery with my case. What's Janet doing now? She's alleging that her ARDC response is privilege. She's got that shit in the privilege log. So she's not willing to show you or I or the court, allegedly, what she said to the ARDC. Does it take a PhD to think why she might be hiding the ARDC response from all of us? What do you guys think? Calm the f*** on, Janet. Like, it's very clear. You denied that we had a contingency fee agreement, even in the ARDC complaint. I'm putting 2 and 2 together now, just watching everything that you're doing. And I think it's time that I go through each and every single complaint and point out all the lies. Because you have contradicted yourself so many times. You are going to look so dumb. So I just can't wait. I'm gonna sit here, maybe not necessarily here. I always have a new background I can choose from. But I will sit in front of the camera with my beautiful mic, and I'm gonna go through every single complaint and show you are flat out lying and you are actually contradicting your own statements. And I'm gonna show how you're twisting evidence every turn and every get-go. And we are all gonna have so much fun on YouTube. And by the way, I'm a YouTube partner now. Hashtag monetize. Let's go, queens. Let's go. And if you guys don't know, I have Janet merch. And if you guys don't, it's anti-Janet merch. It's the anti-Janet social club. You know what's up. I literally need to buy some for myself too. I'm planning on buying a bunch of things. So I have my order ready. Do you guys have your order ready? And we are still waiting for that GoFundMe, yo. Because listen, if you can help me get to that GoFundMe goal, we will not need to settle. And quite honestly, like, they don't have a case. So they're going to want me to settle at some point. So if we don't want to settle, if we want to actually take this all the way through and get Janet's license revoked, we need to get that money. And we need to get it before they give me a settlement offer. So just putting that out there, guys. Come on, please help me. I mean, I just don't want Janet to do this to anyone else ever again. That's where I'm coming from. And I feel like you guys understand that too. let's not let her do this to anyone else. I know she's done really messed up things since she sued me. I'm seeing it, and that's my opinion. I'm allowed to say that. I think what she's doing to several other creators is also like legal abuse. I think that she needs to get her license revoked so she can't hurt more people, more business owners, more content creators. Because look, she's harming people on both sides of the spectrum. She's harming creators saying, hey, I'm protecting them from my clients. Here she is harming her client. Who's safe from Janet? Who the knows? So that's all I'm trying to say. I would just really like to see this lawsuit all the way through, guys. That's why I keep posting about it. That's why I'm going to keep posting about it. That is the story of how I think Janet skirts the ARDC. I think she literally lied to them and told them that we don't have a contingency fee agreement. And if you're like thinking, I mean, no one takes her side online. I haven't seen a single fucking comment take her side. But if Janet's lawyers are watching this and Janet's lawyers are like, no, well, maybe she did. Well, then why is she hiding it? Why isn't the privilege log? Why is she hiding her ARDC her response to my complaint? Anyhow, I think it's really interesting that so many people are reporting it to the ARDC. At some point, isn't someone there at that stupid commission like, maybe there's something about this lady. Maybe you should look her up a little bit. I don't know. But like I said, I think it's just in terms of like the legal proceedings. They're not even allowed to do anything at this initial investigative stage. They need me to bring something from the court. They kind of said, they're like, file a malpractice claim against her and then come back to us. You know, it was kind of like that. And especially I talked to them on the phone. And that's kind of like what they said. You know, they're like, our hands are pretty much tied at this point of the, you know, where everything's at. So it's good to know. It's good to know that this is how the ARDC works. I'm learning as I go on this, you know what I mean? I hope I never need to like do any of this stuff ever again. But it is a really nice learning lesson. I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm just trying to make something positive out of a really f***ed up situation, man. I really wish I wasn't in this position, but here we are anyways. I'm learning. It's going to make me a stronger businesswoman at the end of the day. And, yeah, let's see. And there was one person who was like, well, motion practice is like quite normal. I saw one comment say that, listen, we already did like summary judgment. Their summary judgment was denied already. But then they went through and then they did another motion, judgment on the pleadings. Usually people don't do that much. They were also going through our affirmative defenses. Usually you argue that during like discovery, you try and take things out later. So this is just what I'm learning as I'm going through. So what I'm learning from other folks is like the proceedings of how we're doing it is excessive motion practice. That's how other people are also viewing it, not just me. That was the only one comment that I saw. So I was like, is it excessive motion practice? But you guys haven't even seen the full file of like everything that's happened, unfortunately. So the people that have seen the full file of everything, they're like, yeah, this is friggin' excessive. So, and they know more than like you and I, like we're common folk. They know way more than us. So that's all I know. And there was excessive motion practice. They are trying to drown my money out and bankrupt me. And it's just going to cost them more at the end, you know? It's just going to cost them more. So that's where we're at. Well, thanks for listening to this TED Talk. I have some more TED Talks to go, so let's go ahead and go through those too. I'll see you in the next one, okay, guys? Bye!